Hello and welcome to this Monday night clash at Amy Park. I am Amac sitting in the box up here, and joining me tonight is Snicko Balbroa. Snicko, how are things?
They're great. I'm watching this one anxiously because, as we all know, if the Raiders get up, we're going to have a minor premiership playoff later in the night. So for this game, and actually for the entire season, I'm very anti-Storm.
Well, I'm quite the opposite, Snicko. I want the Storm to win tonight because the Raiders, if they win tonight, they leapfrog over both the Knights and the Broncos, and they are in the top 8. So there is a lot riding on tonight's game.
But you guys could just win, yeah? It wouldn't matter.
Well, yeah, that's true. But if the Raiders lose, that makes our chances that much easier. So as much as I love the Raiders and I love some of the boys in the Raiders team, I'm definitely going to be barracking for the Storm tonight.
Yeah, words you never think you'd hear anyone say that isn't a Storm player.
So Storm have first touch of the ball, and Riley Murray is hitting it up first. Snicko, which boys on the team need to stand up to get the win tonight?
I think that the Storm, they can just go all systems ahead. They're at the top of the ladder at the moment for a reason. The last time we commentated together, I think it was a Storm game, and Riley Murray had a bit of a shocker. But then last week he bounced back. So if he can do what he did last week and not what he did 2 weeks ago, it was against the Broncos actually. He just had an all-time stinker. If he can avoid that, that'll be good. Of course, the 55-minute prop roll is pretty important. For the rest of them, I just think they do their job and they can get over the Raiders here.
As Oldfield's almost pushed out there. Storm not having a terrible first start to the night with a lovely little kick. Eli Barnes, not who you want to kick it to first round up, but strong kick chase. And the Raiders starting their first attack on the ball. Who needs to stand up here from the Raiders, Snicko?
Well, I've never been able to do this before, but I can actually cheer Eli Barnes tonight. Normally, he just terrorizes me. There he is, straight through the middle. He just terrorizes me when we play against him. So I'm very glad that I can cheer him on tonight. And then I think Jordan Lewis as well in that lock roll. Big head-to-head battle with Will Kay. Our respective captains both trying to get something done here for their team in the last round of the season.
Yeah,
What's Charlie
talk about
Rossini
Lewis.
doing at 10?
Oh, that's very interesting. They might be cooking up a team list to try to beat the Storm tonight, Snicko.
Yeah, don't cook too much. You'll burn your hands.
As Jack Jimmy works his way up the field. And it must be said tonight that if the Raiders do not win, then this is Jordan Lewis's last game as captain in the SRL for the moment being. So probably another reason for you to be barracking for the Raiders there, Snicko.
Yeah, he's done a great job in his time in the SRL, and yeah, stepping down after this season, just a few things going on from what I've heard, and just doesn't quite have the time. And I think it could be the end of an era for this Raiders team if they don't win tonight. From what I've heard on the grapevine, a few players are moving on, and I think Wally Allen's got a big job to sort of build next season. They're going to be in a little bit of trouble, so I think that this is pretty much do or die here for this Raiders team, for this era of the Raiders team.
Yep. As Kay puts a boot up, and it's a good kick. It's high and it's deep,
Oh.
but Barnes is there, and he's smashed.
He doesn't deserve that.
No. Although Eli Barnes, if anyone out there can take it, he definitely can, as Thompson throws it out to Wally Allen, next season's captain, working its way up over the 20. Tim James tries a little dart out, and he actually makes it through the line. Passes it back on the inside to Cheddar, who's buried there on the 40th for his fourth. Will we see the first 40-20 of the night?
Oh no.
It's a 35-40 as Guys comes up with it and works it essentially back to where it was kicked. Harris back on the inside to Kay, and Kay, first touch of the night, works his way up over the 30. Big night for Kay, and I saw him in the dressing rooms earlier, Snicko. How would you describe Will Kay and his emotions right now?
Very calm and collected. He wants to go back to back with this minor premiership. And I think he has confidence in his team to get it done.
Yeah, it must be said.
What was that?
That was a weird pass. Well, nothing to see here. It must be said the Storm have been an absolute monster this season, and if Will does and Riley Murray, no, not what you want there, Muzzer.
Yeah, and then compounding it with a missed tackle. Nice little grubber there from TBK, and I thought Riley Murray was going to fall over the line, and he did, but he forgot to take the ball with him.
As Lewis working his way up, playing it there, 35 out. As I was trying to say before Riley Murray'd it just then, the Storm have been an absolute monster, and it's a tantamount to not just the quality of the team, but also the quality of the recruitment. And it's going to be interesting if the Storm can carry this into Season 9.
Yeah, you say they've been a monster. I've watched a few of their games. They've just got lucky a couple of times, I think. And you're right, without Riley Murray, I'm not sure if the Storm will have the pull that they did at the start of this season. They signed some pretty good players, and yeah, with Riley going, Will Kay's really going to have his work cut out for him.
Yep. We might find Will Kay having to go back to half, which will be very interesting to see, as Guys works his way up to the 40, passing it out to Murray, to Jimmy, working his way up to the 50, and we're 10 minutes in, Snicko, and we haven't seen anyone cross the line yet. Is that a good sign for the Storm or a good sign for the Raiders?
I'd say it's a good sign for the Raiders. The Storm have had the better of the field position. They haven't quite been able to convert yet. So great work so far from the Raiders defense. And that's how you sort of get ahead when you're not so much the fancy team. If you can just gain some confidence through your defense, that'll translate to when you have the ball in hand, and then you can see some things happening.
Yeah, the Raiders' form has been absolutely fantastic at the back end of this season. Not the best start to the season, but I think this happens every year with the Raiders. They always time their run to the finals, and they somehow get there. So they might have timed it a bit late, but they're working their way well right now. As Wally Allen offloads it back on the inside to Thompson. Almost at the halfway, playing it there for their third. Short ball to Demando, passes a risky ball over to Lewis. Finally making their way into the Storm half for their fourth. I think this is the best field position the Raiders have had all night so far, and they might put in a cheeky little dink and keep the Storm back in their half. They do. Oldfield kept and held there just shy of his 30.
Yeah,
What
I'm
do you
not sure
think
if
needs
that's
to happen now?
I think that's Riley Finn's edge. I'm not 100% sure. Great tackle on Matt Oldfield because he's quite the dangerous returner. And now it's just, limit the line breaks and try and slowly win the field position battle like they're doing the last couple of sets of Raiders, and hopefully they can do the Finns a solid.
Yeah.
That's not good.
As Bill breaks his way through but can't get around Barnes. That's going to be a good matchup tonight. Bell and Barnes, both Season 1 alumni, both hoping to get across, and personally, I'm hoping they get across too, looking at Musbet 2 for this week.
Gambling's for the devil, so I abstain this week.
Yeah, there were a couple of really risky choices this week, and at the moment, I think most people look to be going for Musbet 2, so we'll see how that goes as Wally Allen works his way over the 30. Thompson, risky ball back on the inside, but Muzzer catches Lewis and holds him on the 40. We got about 5 minutes until the first interchanges come, and it's going to be an interesting matchup. Melbourne, they've got Wilmot and Hopgood coming on, and Hopgood, absolutely phenomenal game last week, Snicker.
Yeah, he really played above his weight. He's had a few games where he hasn't really got super involved, and then last week just went berserk when he was on the field. So if you can bring that form through, that's what you need from your bench players, especially with Riley Murray in the 8 now. So he's not bringing the power off the bench like he was at the start of the season. So it's up to Wilmot. That's good for Oldfield. It's up to Wilmot to sort of usher Hopgood into sort of the prop role that they're going to need from him.
As Bell works away one and almost gets around Barnes. Good set so far from the Storm. But speaking of... Oh, no. Remy works his way through. Back on the inside.
And gets the offload.
And gets the offload. I'll come back to the Raiders bench forwards in a second. But Muzzer working his way up to the 20. The Storm are going to be in a great position for an attacking kick by the end of this set.
Yeah, back-to-back line breaks will do that for you.
Okay, K won't be the one kicking. It'll be either Harris or TBK. And it's Harris, but he doesn't get time to put boot to ball. Raiders rushing up and planting him there 5 meters out. So not really what Will Kerr would have wanted there, Snicker.
Yeah, they got away with one there, the Raiders. And then Alan Berkeley with a nice little dummy on the inside, pinches the best part of 40 metres, so right out of trouble quickly. Blake Harris perhaps looking to the future, a bit distracted with his time at the Storm at the moment, and he just forgot to put that kick in.
Yeah, there's lots of rumours swirling around, and Harris moving on from the Storm next season is going to be one of the more interesting ones to see where he ends up. We'll have to play keep or cut later on, Snicko, to really get your take on which Storm guys need to really get on their horse and move out.
That is my favourite game. I like to just call it cut these days.
Cut these days, yeah. No need to keep, just cut everyone. That was close, but Thorne picks it up, and the Storm are going to have some trouble trying to work out of their half here.
Yeah, Eli Barnes was working, but he sort of went to the right of the tap back instead of the left where the ball went up. James Thorne did a great job to cover up, and good from the Raiders to make sure he didn't race 95 metres downfield, because we've seen that way too many times in the SRL. And it means that they have a chance here to sort of pin, what is that? Well, it worked out. I was going to say to pin the Storm in their own end, but the bounce pass out to Far Philly worked wonders.
That's the second time that's happened tonight for the Storm, and I think they're a bit lucky the Raiders haven't been able to pounce on that. As we just saw the Storm bench forwards come on, so we're going to lose a little bit of that strength from the Storm as Murray's now on the bench, and we should see Lucy Driscoll and Justice Daly working their way on the film any moment now.
Yeah, there they are. Justice Daly started the season starting, I think. Rossini now is taking that 10 role, so he's going to... Barnes...
Close one there. Wally Allen losing about 10 metres there with that offload. Speaking about Daly, though. Demando just slips into touch. So, a little bit of luck there for the Storm. We'll see what they can do with it.
Yeah, Demando did everything right there, and then he just put a couple of feet out. Not too great from him, especially when they had some good field position.
Yeah. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Justice Daly last week notching up a rare double for a 14. So we'll see if he can do the same against the Storm tonight.
He's held there. 2 on the kick going.
As we've got Kinnan back on the outside to Wilmot. Wilmot not going anywhere. Muscled back just shy of the 50. TBK out to Hopgood. And again, he's not going anywhere either. Raiders massively monstering with some strong defence as we go. Nielsen puts his nose through the line and at least gets close to the 40. So the Storm are going to have to boot their way out of trouble here and see if they can hold the Raiders down in their half. And Flynn can't do it. Strong return defence. And I can't believe what I'm saying here, Snicko, but we're almost 25 minutes in and it's still 0-0.
Yeah, I'd just like to see someone score, preferably a Raiders fan, a Raiders man. If we could just get some action into this game. It's been a bit, a few misfires so far, I'd say, from both teams.
Yeah, and both teams, it's not like they're playing bad. They're just playing a bit jittery, focusing mostly on defence instead of attack. So someone is going to have to pull the trigger, and someone is going to have to be a bit more of a, let's say, Superman to make sure someone, a bit of a maverick. I wonder which team has a maverick in their side.
Yeah, and I wonder where we're going next season. A lot of pressure on both of these teams. I think you can see that just in the way that they're playing. James Thorne throw a couple of bounce passes out of half. The Raiders yet to put in an attacking kick, I believe. So it'll be just dependent on which team can really shape up and rise to the pressure, because they do say pressure's a privilege, and we're yet to see who's going to accept it tonight.
Yep. And again, the Storm kept in their own half on their fourth. A really weird pass there.
Little switch
does
play.
What he can. Little switch play. The Storm again kicking out of trouble, but it looks like the Raiders seem to be winning this arm wrestle right now. Ooh. Oh. Don't know what happened there. Apparently it's not a knock on, and he did not step into touch like I thought he did. Ooh. What the... That was strange. That was very, very strange there, Snicker.
Yeah, a bit of Logan Strange about that. I'm not sure at all what that set was from the Raiders, but they were doing so well and they've just invited the Storm right into their half. I think we could see points here.
I think we're getting to the point where fitness, where stamina is starting to drain out, and that's no big surprise considering there's been next to no stoppages yet so far. Ooh, another little bobble there from Harris as he works his way over the 20, playing it there for his third. Guys, out to Wilmot. Wilmot working his way to the 10. 2 tackles left in this set. What can the Storm do? Harris back on the inside to K. K pushing. Oh, he might be over. We might have our first points of the round.
Yeah, I think he gets that down pretty easily. No one there to help out. And Will K, too big. Actually, not too big, but too strong. Just not stop there. And I think that just comes down to the Raiders. They had such good field position. And then Demando, I don't know what he was doing. Into the knock-on from Jordan Lewis. Just unfortunately, when you're versing the team coming first, you can't make those kinds of errors.
Yeah, there had to be someone to stand up for the Storm, and Will K just got sick of it and said, give it to me, I'm going to do it. And somehow was able to muscle his way through Caval and get his way over as TBK lines it up to make it 6. No way he was going to miss that. Straight over the dots. 28 minutes in, 6-0.
Yeah, I've seen stranger things. A good TV show. I've seen stranger things happen actually. Then TBK missing that kick, so I wouldn't be shocked. Especially, he's got to be nervous. A rookie half, trying to lead his team to back-to-back minor premierships. A lot of pressure on him right now, and I think that Will K's done a good thing there. Captain just takes a hit up, gets his team on the board, and hopefully they can play with a bit more freedom now. Well, hopefully not actually, because I need this Raiders team to get up.
As Hopgood placed it there first, just shy of the 20. Wilmot, Storm working into it now. Second great touch of the set, working up to his 40. Looks like those points have settled some nerves, and the Storm have now decided to turn up. As TBK works it up to the 50. Ooh, really slow play of the ball. Fairfield out to Harris. Harris sees a gap and just can't get through it, but makes some good post-contact. Slowly working their way to... Ooh, Hopgood almost got in the way. Probably didn't get as far as they wanted to, but not a really good set after points, but an adequate set after points. So we'll see if they can nail this kick. Ooh, no, they cannot. No, they cannot.
But Xavier doesn't do anything crazy this time, so hopefully the Raiders can get out of trouble here. That's great from Daly. Go, Daly. Go, Tim.
Oh, beautiful pass. Go, Tim. Tim, he's down. Second, over the 10. This is the Raiders' chance. Can they get it over? Berkeley out to Blaine, out to Flynn. Flynn's round 1.
Go.
And he's pushing. Oh, just shy of the line.
There's Barnes.
But the defense is compressed.
Come on.
He's over. Caval's in.
Great stuff from the Raiders there. Caval, the veteran, just gets it done under pressure. And I think that you got to think Thompson will convert this. We said stranger things would happen, but this is almost a gimme. It's going to be 6-all here. And just like that, the pressure's back on the home side. The Melbourne Storm here. They're meant to be demolishing this matchup. It's 1 versus 8. But 8th is hanging in there.
And Caval there, making up for that little lapse where he let K score, is able to go across and help even it out there. Really, I'll just wait for him to get this over. Yeah, look at that.
Never in doubt.
Really odd there, because we had a bench prop work his way up the field and pass it on to a number 9. Eli Barnes had nothing on that, so Barnes hasn't even inserted himself into the game yet. The Storm could be in trouble here, Snicker.
Yeah, and it's good to see Rahul Caval insert himself right second row. We saw Cox insert himself a couple of times last week for a double. If Caval can do that consistently, maybe this Raiders team can go deep into finals. Assuming Broncos lose, of course, which I'm sure they won't, Mac.
Oh, well, like I said, we'll take it one day at a time, one game at a time, I should say. And Daly there, already bumping off another Storm player. So Daly, I don't know what he's doing on the bench, but he's doing absolutely excellent stuff here for the Raiders. As Caval, playing it there for a second.
Yeah, perhaps the strategy just to capitalise on the weaker bench forwards of the Storm, put Daly back there and just try and carry Rossini the first 20 minutes, which they did pretty admirably. They didn't concede a point, of course, until he went off. So maybe that was a bit of a strategy, just to have Daly come on and crush some Melbourne forwards. As now Lucy Driscoll goes straight through. So both the bench props getting involved here for the Raiders.
Yeah, weaving through expertly there. Thompson putting it high. Thompson coming down from his own kick. Not scoring there, of course, but doing well and keeping the Storm there on their 10. So Guys sniffs through but works his way over the 20. We've got about 5 minutes left in the half. Snicko, what do these two teams need to do before they get into the sheds?
I think that if Raiders could just take the momentum into the half, that would be great for them. They've kept Melbourne pretty quiet for a lot of this half. There's not many teams that have captained only 6 in one half, and they'll take that as a win if they can get there.
Yeah, definitely. And from the Storm's point of view, I think they might either, if they can't score at this set, they need to keep the Raiders out, because if they go into halftime with a deficit, that might just be demoralising and it'd be hard to come out the other end.
Yeah, I just want to see more violence from Melbourne Storm. We yet to see sort of a big bump off and break. We yet to see a big hit from them. Even Corey Bell hasn't been as agile and as athletic as you'd expect. I just want to see they're first for a reason at the moment, and I'd like to see why.
Yep. As Raiders are now finding it difficult to work their way out of their half. As Flynn works away one, gets through but can't get past Bell. But that now means there's no one back at home. So the Raiders passing it down the blind side, and Blaine tries to get through but just can't, playing it there shy of the 50 for their fourth. Paval tries but can only really get to the 40, and the Raiders are going to have to punt their way down and try to keep the Storm out before they head off to the sheds. Ooh, big deep kick, and here comes Jimmy, and he's wrapped up nicely, and the Storm might finish out the set with this run, but they've got to be careful not to give a long-range try to the Raiders by the end of this one.
Yeah, terrific kick and a terrific kick chase, and once again they just kept the Storm pinned. I don't think the Raiders will want half time. I think they want to keep playing. Oh no, forget what I'm saying. They're obviously tired.
Oh, so not what you want, but the Storm, with only just a minute left, have got to do something quick if they want to capitalise on this. So they've got to do quick, they've got to do hard.
I've heard that before.
Yeah, normally when we're talking about someone on your team. As we've got Guys passing it out. McKinnon tries to get through and is forced to play it there on the 30. Less than a minute to go now. Raiders trying to slow it down, trying to get to that halftime bell without giving away a penalty. Speaking of bell, up to the 20. 30 seconds. Going slow.
I'm not sure they'll make it to the kick.
No, they're doing one-up stuff. They need to be a bit more expansive. TBK, Farfili passes it out to Nielsen, and they're not going to get there. We'll see after the break. And welcome back to this absolutely nail-biting match we've had here between the Canberra Raiders and the Melbourne Storm. Snicko, give us an insight into what happened in those sheds during the halftime break.
Oh, it was really interesting. I went down to the Storm first. Will Kay, quite a nervous man at the moment. He has a lot riding on this, of course, the minor premiership, but also from a personal point of view, I think he just wants to prove that he can be a good lock in the SRL, and this season's been a bit of a culmination of that. It's Tim James straight through the middle with a high tackle. We'll come back to the
tackle
sheds.
There.
Come back to the sheds in a moment.
No. Corey Bell with the swinging arm there. Frustration. Not being able to get as many run meters. Yeah. When he hasn't scored for a little bit, the swinging arm comes out and some heads get knocked off. So the Raiders are going to have an excellent chance to score at the end of this set, only just starting the second half.
Yeah, I think against the Knights, he might have pulled off a match saver with a high tackle. I can't remember who it was, but someone was through to scoring. He just took him out a metre from the line and ended up winning in the game. So maybe that's what they teach me down in Melbourne. I'm not really sure.
As Raiders, Wally Allen, strong defence, pushed back, playing it there, shy of the 10, fourth tackle. Moving out to Thompson. Big Preston beats. Can't get too much further. And the Raiders going to have to kick their way into points. Oh, Muzza somehow comes up with it and saves his bacon. Storm working their way out now. Back to those sheds there, Snicker.
Yeah, so Will Kay, very nervous, but the rest of the Storm team, they were calm. They knew what they had to do. That's good from Wilbert. They knew the job that they have to do. They've been winning all season. They're just like, we're just going to keep doing what we've been doing. Whereas the Raiders, they were calm. They were happy. They know that the pressure's all on the Storm at the moment. The Raiders have nothing to lose. Even if they win, they're not guaranteed a final. So they pretty much said, let's just go out and ball, see what happens. That's horrific from the Storm, and see what happens. And hopefully they're going to find their way to a semi-final berth.
Yep, as another
Yikes.
error, and McQueen comes up with it
Ka-chow.
on the wrong side of that line there for the Storm. So we saw it, as Wally Allen works his way through, but coughs it up, and Wilmot saves Will Kay from having a heart attack, and the Storm are working their way out of their line again.
Yeah,
So
just
it
about where
looks
we were 2 minutes ago.
Yeah. Second half, much the same. Kay bumping off beats and breaking a tackle. Shifty little offload to Thorne. They're getting a bit desperate here, and it looks like they're going to play the ball a lot more than they did in the first half. Phoenix Murphy working his way up over the 40. And TBK decides to run it instead of throwing it forward. Just shy of the 30. The Storm going to boot it up and see if they can hold the Raiders down here. As Flynn grabs it and can't get much through the line. What were the Raiders doing at halftime there, Nico?
Yeah, like I said, just nice and relaxed. And we've already seen they're happy to throw the ball around. And I think that's the key to this team. They're very good at the grind. And eventually they're going to need to score points, which hopefully we're going to see from them. I thought it was interesting, the Storm kick to Riley Flynn. I thought he was tremendous in the first half. And if I were them, perhaps I'd be going to Xavier DeMundo, who's got a bit of case of the butterfingers from what we've seen so far.
Yeah, Flynn's actually found himself to be a silver now, and he's really living up to that silver price tag. As Preston beats works his way up to this 40, and the Raiders not quite as far as they probably would have wanted from that set.
Yeah, they'll have to do a good job here on Jack Jimmy, and they have done all night. Barnes cleans up there, so not a bad result for either team. About par, I'd say, from that set. Well, that's not good.
And we have Murphy working his way through and passing it. Thorne bumps off one. Thorne's off. He's got some attackers, but he can't get away from them, and just shy of the 10. Some excellent cover defense there from the Raiders. Harris over to Wilmot, and that was a risky ball, but Wilmot grabs it, and he is forced back almost where they played it. TBK out to Spencer, the rookie, pushing forward. Fourth tackle. Where did the Storm go? Thorne to TBK to Guys. Pushing.
Oh.
Just short. Oh, heartbreak. Oh, Thorne smashed.
Yeah, James Thorne just had a little peek from dummy half, and he was demolished there.
Let him go.
That was a bit more like the Storm we saw, but the Raiders were having none of that, and they stopped that dead. Working their way out now.
Yeah, I thought that was the Storm's chance to score some points and sort of gap the Raiders a little bit, but just like they did all first half, they're able to frustrate the Storm out of sort of taking a good fifth tackle option. We haven't really seen one. Now Barnes is through.
Barnes is through, and Bell was not home. But thankfully, a little ankle tap, and Bell's able to clean up. And the Raiders, coast to coast, they're almost going to be in the exact same position as the Storm were.
Little grubber here. Or not.
Tim James pushing. Is he over?
Did he just get the ball down?
Oh, he's pushing.
Wow.
I think that's a Tim James try there, Snicko.
Yeah, a little TJ special there, and the Raiders are going to hit the lead. Who saw this coming?
There we go. Next season's Tigers BC may have just stolen the game here if this is the amount of points we're going to see in the night.
Yeah, and points were real hard to come by in the first half. Maybe it'll change here in the second half. Of course, we've seen a try within the first 10 minutes, but Outstanding from Tim James. They flip him to lock for a couple of games now in a row, and it's sort of coincided with their late season surge. So hopefully they can keep going here, because I know there's a couple of aquatic animals playing in a few hours that are really invested in a Raiders win here.
And with about 30 minutes or less than 30 minutes left in the match, the Storm, they need to put at least 2 tries on if they're in a hope to steal this away, as Lewis can't really go too much further and plays it there on the 15. Thompson back on the inside to and he breaks one, and he's and he's
Lightning.
away. McQueen is gone. And
Yeah.
shut the door. He's over. Just like that, in the space of 2 minutes, a 6-6 deadlock is about to be a 6-18 lead to the Raiders.
Yeah, Lightning McQueen takes a piston cup there. A great sprint finish from him. TBK, the Superman dive, unable to keep up. And this is outstanding from the Raiders. They needed to lift here, and I love to see it. It looks like we could be live going into Monday Night Football.
And, yep, there we go. Dots the I's, crosses the T, 18-6. And now that lead is just getting a little bit unassailable. The Storm need to do something, and they need to do something quick.
Yeah, I haven't seen the underdog take over like this. Probably since the time the Storm beat the Dolphins. They were heavy underdogs in that match, but they scraped away with a win. And the Raiders, they're playing exceptionally here. A bit of fortuitous bounces there with the knock-on that was regathered, and then Lightning McQueen just burst into the backfield. But sometimes the ball just bounces your way, and that's what's happened for the Raiders so far.
Now, if you're Will Kay, what do you have to do to get this round the other way, Snicko?
Well, I think that you really got to make the most of your next 12 minutes, because that's all they're going to have, all Will Kay is going to have on the field. They're going to be watching from the sideline, and 12 minutes is quite a long time, or so I've been told. So hopefully he can make something happen here, because otherwise he's going to be trusting his VC, Riley Murray, who comes on at that 65-minute mark to take them home, and it's going to be tough. Raiders are switched on.
Yep, as Wally Allen plays it there, shy of the 40 for his 4th. And if we have another little line break here from the Raiders, like we see just there.
Oh, Jordan.
Oh, playing it there for his first. So the Storm, Phoenix Murphy, are going to slowly start working their way up the field and see what they can do to bring this back under control. Riley Murray does about the same. On out to guys, back on the inside to Bell, and he breaks through the line, but he passes it on the inside again to Kay, and the Storm are looking a little bit more attack-oriented right now. TBK, weird ball back to Bell, another offload to Thorne. Storm, they're getting a bit desperate, but it looks like it's starting to work for them.
Stay in. Oh.
Yeah. Oh. Cheeky little grubber kick there from Harris, just setting up the trap there, and Garcia is forced to take it over the over the sideline.
Yeah, he fell right into that one, Jaden Garcia. Good tackle. He's hurt it over there. I think that's Chris Spencer that's done that. And yeah, Storm, I think this is the moment for them. If they can get back within 6, they can maybe go with some momentum, but it's going to have to be this set.
As Kay takes the first hit up. DBK takes and runs it, but he's pushed back and he's forced to play it there shy of the 10 for his second. On out to Harris, out to Bell. Bell, ooh.
On his back?
4-step, strong defense on his back. Thorne tries again, pushes out, doesn't get anywhere, waits another tackle. It's now the 4th. Okay, does the same, but the Raiders, my
Lift
goodness,
Raiders.
the Raiders
Come on.
attacking everything that they're worth. Oh, Harris, no. No.
That's a disaster passing how to finish a set from Blake Harris. Storm, they had 6 tackles within the 10-metre line. They really worked that left edge. There's a lot of space over on the right, but Blake Harris put that ball right at the bum of one of his teammates.
And then somehow picked it up himself, and it was called a knock-on. So it's going to be very interesting to see if that just demoralises the Storm, and that's it for the night. as we're probably going to get a 40-20 attempt here.
Good one.
Good boot from Berkeley. With
Getting Raiders.
Oh, it's Bill. Oh. And
Great.
Preston beat.
Yeah, great cover tackle from Preston Beats.
Phoenix Murphy out to Muzza. Works his way up to the 30. And everything that the Storm are throwing at the Raiders have an answer for everything so far.
Yeah, it's like they've seen the answers to the exam that the Storm are throwing at them. They warm up with a nice little break there. And I think that maybe the prop subs could do something for the Storm and try and wrest some momentum back, because I'd probably say since about the 20-minute mark, the Raiders have been on top in the forward battle, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Yep. And the Storm, they only get really enough to put a punt kick in, and we're going to see if Demando can get through the line. And no, the Storm chases. Cruz Spencer grabs him and shoves him as far back as he can.
Yeah, he's had a good first 20 minutes, Cruz Spencer, some crucial tackles and nice little involvement with the ball. The fresh centre can always work some wonders, but I think it's up to the fresh props here, Manu Fa'afili, and I'm not actually sure who the other one is, but they're going to have to make an impact for the Storm.
As we enter our last 20-minute period, the 12 points that the Raiders are in front is starting to get a little bit more imposing, as there's a shocking kick there. And Guys picks it up and works his way back to the 50. So if the Storm want to be in with a chance, I would suggest now is their opportunity. Oh, no. Oh, that's just a little bit heartbreaking if you're a Storm fan there, Snicker.
Yeah, and luckily I am not. Terrific from the Raiders. Manu Fa'afili had a great line break, and yeah, just a pass to the far left from TBK. I'm not sure who got hit off the ball, but take your medicine and get back up again, because they need to defend now. Raiders coming home with a vengeance.
Yep, as we enter our 63rd minute, Demando trying to work his way up, and he's forced to play it 5 meters shy of halfway. Passing out to Thompson, back on the inside to James, who scored the game leader before we had that big runoff try, and we've got Thompson booting it down. Jack Jimmy forced to bring it back. Doesn't
Great
get
tackle.
around and is met with an excellent tackle there, playing it there on his 20. Harris, short ball to Remy. Plays it almost exactly where they played it the previous tackle. Harris, again, playing it almost on the exact same blade of grass. The Storm going nowhere.
Yeah, I think we need to see something here from Mason Remy and Manu Fa'afili, two experienced SRL players now. I mean, their team needs to go for it. So whether it's this set, whether it's the next one of them needs to get their hand on the ball and make something happen.
Oh, and Barnes threatening to wind up is met heavily there, in some good tackle there by Fa'afili and Murphy, I think. And we got Garcia trying to work through, playing it just shy of the halfway mark. We're about to see the props come off, which means Will Kay is now going to have an anxious 15 minutes on the sideline. And Muzza is now in charge out there for the Storm.
Uh-oh.
We've got Thompson pushing up, trying to get to the 30, playing it there for the 4th. And Queen out to Berkeley, out to Barnes, out to Flynn. Flynn tries to get around, he almost does. And we might be in for a little bomb kick here if the Raiders put one up. Oh, no, just a cheeky crossfield punt. Spencer grabs it, pauses, spets around one, and is almost able to get around Barnes, but is forced to play it there for the second, on the 20. And we got Guys.
It means Barnes is out of position. The Raiders needed the Storm needed to capitalise there and pinch off some meters, but
We got down the blind side, back on the inside, Bell working his way up the field, passing it onto the TBK, and they don't get much further, but that's good attack there from the Storm. Thorn out to Spencer, back on the inside to Bell again, trying the same, can't get through the Raiders. Wise to that one, playing it for the 4th. Thorn, Remy, pushing, and they're going to play it there just shy of the 30 and probably not far enough for an attacking kick.
no, once again, the punt kick for the Storm. Riley Flynn, he's been eating him up all night, and there he goes again. Go Riley Flynn! Go Riley Flynn!
And Bell Supermans. but
Who caught
that
him?
cover defense is able to save it.
Who was that? Is that James
Oh,
Thorne, I
no
think?
idea.
Great tackle.
That's your second.
And he doubles up and stops Blaine getting any further through that line. Playing it there for the second. If the Raiders cross now, that is it. That's the end of the night for the Storm. So the Storm need to hold this out. There's still time to bring it back and try to force a field goal off, as it were, as we play it there for the fourth. Queen out to Lewis, pushing, but he's forced there to play it on the 10, and we've got a kick to come, and we've got some very nervous
Ooh.
receivers. Barnes grabs it,
Ooh.
and he is leveled.
Good effort, though. I like this from the Raiders. Put the Storm in their own end. Make them work. Make these boys sweat.
He's held there.
And they're definitely going to be sweating, trying to get out of their half right now, making it up to the 20 on their second tackle there from Murphy. Harris out to Bell. Bell gets around one, tries to get past. He's been doing a lot of that tonight, Bell, hitting the line and passing, and that's going to help. That's going to help. Less than
Whoever
10
that
minutes to
was.
go.
Whoever that was is in my keeping cut game. He's gone.
Oh, I almost forgot about our keep and cut game, Snicko. It's just getting a bit exciting out there.
It is. I'm not sure if it's exciting if you're a Melbourne fan, but these Raiders guys are loving it. A few of them have travelled down into cold Melbourne, not colder than Canberra, to be fair. And they're loving the performance that they've put forward so far. It looks like the old band could get back together for one more dance for the Raiders here if they can just keep going, flip a coin, hope some results go their way. Could we see the inevitable Raiders finals appearance?
And it's getting hard for the Storm to get up to the line, but Phoenix Murphy playing it there. We're going to have an interesting ball to Far-Feely, and the Storm are going to have to put a kick in, and I don't know if I like their chances, Snicko.
Oh, I like it now. That's a crossbar kick. That's dangerous. Oh, but Demando, great take under pressure. 7 tackle set now for the Raiders. 8 minutes to go in this game. If the Storm don't score off their result, he said, I think you just about put a line through him. Go Rossini, that's why he's there. Big bump off on Phoenix Murphy.
Yeah, at this rate, I think the best case scenario for the Storm right now is to level
Kick
it
return
with 2
try.
very quick tries. Yep, and then hope for a golden point win.
Muzza was offside there.
That's
He
Cheddar.
was offside.
Clear him now. That's his second.
I think someone's been listening to some refs over there and just putting the whistle away and making sure nothing gets blown in this last little bit. As Thompson met there with Muzza, playing it there, shy of the 30 for his fourth. Queen out to Cheddar again.
I think that's a young Sonny Tyre on the field. He's doing everything he can to make sure that Dolphins versus Sharks is going to be an absolute blockbuster later in the night. We've got something to play for now. Go McQueen.
Oh, McQueen.
Oh.
On his back, handover. And the Storm. 6 minutes to go, less than 6 minutes to go. And I can see the hope slowly dying in some of those fans' eyes out there, Snicko.
It's glorious.
That's your second.
As we got Murphy playing it there just on the other side of the 20. Harris back on the inside to Remy, and Remy pushing up to the 30. Oh, cheeky little run out of half. Getting to the 40 and probably setting up. No, Bell doing the same.
I wouldn't mind a Storm try, actually. I got Raiders won that.
Ooh, no, I've got my bet's way off. I've got a Storm 9-18 win, so I'm already down 1 bet for the round. It looks like, as Flynn just gets over the 20. Less than 5 minutes to go. Ooh, cheeky run up the blind side as Berkeley plays it there, 35 meters out. Ooh, the Raiders, they're starting to throw it around a bit. They're seeing victory in sight and they're just chancing their hand a bit. They need to be a bit more conservative.
Yeah, crazy time. There's 4 minutes to go.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, Spencer grabs it. 3 minutes to go. There might be enough time for a cheeky little try, but they need to get over soon and hope to get the ball back very quickly.
Yeah, they're going to have to score in the next 1 or 2 plays if they want to go back to back, because there just won't be enough time if they don't do it quickly. Can the Storm get over here?
And Farfili pushing, and he's held up, playing it there for the fourth. Where do we go? Long ball
great
out to
tackle.
Murphy, and Murphy is pushed back. Fifth tackle. Harris. Kicking. High in the air. Mando grabs it, and he's
Too good.
basically just won it there for the Raiders.
Yeah,
Seven
too
tackle
good from
set.
Xavier Demando. It's the second time in a row they've bombed him, and he's come down with the goods both times. After his earlier fumble fingers, he's really stepped up here for the Raiders.
Berkeley working his way over his 30. Absolutely excellent play so far from the Raiders as Lewis works his way through. Back on the inside to McQueen. Playing it there for his second. Do we see another Raiders one before we finish the round off?
Well, I wouldn't be
Allen
opposed to that.
over the 40. McQueen off to Thompson, off to Cheddar. Pushed back, playing at 35. 10 seconds left to go. We're probably not going to get to a kick. And the Raiders won't care as Lewis breaks through the line. Offloads to McQueen. And that's it. Game, set, match, Raiders.
Yeah, it just goes to show in the SRL this season especially, it's tight. The top 8 is so tight. Anyone can beat anyone on their day. First match of round 13. A lot more to come, especially tonight on SRL TV. For the Storm, commiserations. I think you've just, barring a draw or something exceptional happening in the Dolphin Sharks game, you might have just lost the minor premiership, which is never fun. But the Raiders, they've kept their season alive, and it's up to you now, Matt. Can you keep these guys out, or are they going to sneak into one more final series?
Well, that's going to be very interesting because that now puts the Raiders up into 8th position, forcing the Broncos down into 9th and the Knights into 10th. So we've still got 2 games to go with the Knights and the Broncos. And if the Broncos do not win, and if the Knights do not win, then Raiders are finals bound.
And who do the Broncos verse?
Broncos versus the Bulldogs, so not an easy game, and it's going to be one of those tight-fought games from the looks of things now that we've seen the result of this match starting the round.
Yeah, Knights have Cowboys, so it's definitely on here for the Raiders. I'd say, I'm sorry to say this, Mac, I think Bulldogs would be favourites and so would the Cowboys be, so the stars could be aligning, but we'll have a look at the stats now for this game. Enough prophesying about the future.
Yep. And the Storm started the first half with all the percentage, and they were forced to just cop it from the Raiders there. But we've got Bell leading the run meeting charge there with 246. Lots and lots of line breaks, but those line breaks didn't lead to any tries. The Raiders really nailed Bell and really kept him contained tonight.
Yeah, they really did. He had all of those little half breaks where he runs 15 metres and he's caught by Eli Barnes. But unfortunately couldn't really kick on. I think just the tackles there, 25 for Logan Guys, 25 for Will Kay, 19 for James Thorne, 16 for Riley Murray. Just took the sting out of the attack for the Storm. They just sort of ran out of puff, I guess you'd say, and they couldn't really match it with this Raiders, who apparently just had more to play for tonight.
Yeah, normally when you see those numbers, Thorne 222, Will Kay 148, Harris 127, Murray, Jimmy, Guys, lots of boys out there getting over 100 meters. They're just not able to ice it when they were able to get there. So excellent defense there from the Raiders.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. In the first half especially, we saw the Storm, unfortunately, as it goes in the SRL, sometimes couldn't ice their sets, and the Raiders, they took their chances very, very well.
As we have the Raiders here, and look at that. Tim James top in the charts. Eli Barnes only 171. So normally if Eli Barnes is only doing that, the Raiders are being flogged. But the Raiders didn't need his attack tonight. They had everyone else out there on the park for him.
Yeah, Jordan Lewis, 32 tackles. That's outstanding. 75 minutes for him. Lightning McQueen played the one half of Fooker, and I know their run stats are inflated, but 184 metres in one half is crazy, of course. A 60-metre run rate try is going to help you. And we talked about run meters. We have to go all the way down to Luke Thompson to find the first rater who didn't get over 100. So both teams are marching up the middle tonight. And I think that just the missed tackles for the Storm, that's what unfortunately cost them in the end.
Yeah. The missed tackles, the errors, and the penalties all over the park tonight. But in the end, it was the Raiders who were able to ice their chances and, with a little bit of luck from the gods, get it over with a 12-point lead against the Storm.
Yeah, I'd just like to shout out Justice Daly. 18 minutes, 3 runs, 52 metres. That's a game.
Yep. 2 line breaks, 6 awesome tackles. He had a great game last week, and he's followed up with another good game tonight. So, if you haven't got Daly signed yet, Wally Allen,
Keep.
I think
He's a
you
keep.
need to get that signed. He's a keep. He's a keep. Kind of sad we didn't get to do our keep and cut tonight, Snicko. The game was a bit got away from us there.
Yeah, I'm a bit distracted anyway. We got a big match coming up. I'm not sure who plays next, but 7 p.m. be there. Battle for the minor premiership.
And I think that's it from us now. First game of the round and a massive upset. Enjoy the rest of your week.